This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
Put them numbers to your numbers and make them numbers go up.
No.
What do you mean no?
It wouldn't work.
And co-host Marney Winfield.
That's why they say you're transferring $1,000 USD.
Oh.
US dollars.
Oh, yeah, that is true. It is the 15th of December. The year is 2022, and my name is Corey Winfield.
My name's Marney Winfield.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast, where today I can say that I have done something I've never done before. I kind of did that yesterday too, but now today I'm doing it again, and that is 1,461 days complete in a row.
Beautiful.
Back to back, sober.
Definitely deserves that music.
Which equals 4 years. So give it up for me.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank my mom. I'd like to thank my beautiful wife. I'd like to thank my stepdad, my brother, my sister, all the people that have helped me along this journey. Not the person that gave me COVID. I don't want to thank them.
We don't even know who that is.
But I was listening in my car and I just heard this commercial. It was like, go get COVID screened and checked and vaccines so you don't hurt other people. Well, whoever gave me the COVID, I don't appreciate it. If you'd have been getting your checkups, getting your vaccinations, then I don't have to get mine.
Maybe you gave it to somebody else too.
I hope I didn't. I called some people and said, hey, I got the 19's.
Yeah.
Got them 19's.
Yeah.
And you got them 19's.
Mm-hmm. I think I got it from you.
But we don't got fruit flies.
No.
Amen.
I still do not know why you brought that up.
So I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, this sucks. I don't want to have the 19's because we were supposed to go away for family stuff this weekend.
Yeah, we were.
And not doing that now.
Yeah.
So I was like looking at the negatives of it, and I was like, man, this sucks. I feel like crap. And then I was in my bathroom, and I remember a time about 4 years ago, I had the fruit fly. Like, they were just like in my apartment, and I couldn't figure out why. And I hated it. And so when I was in the bathroom looking in the mirror, and I was thinking, well, because the fruit flies always get on their little gnats. They always get up on your mirror and stuff in the bathrooms. I don't know why. So I was just thinking, I was like, well, you know what? I might have the 19's, but at least we don't got fruit flies.
Right.
So I was like, be grateful.
For sure.
It could be much worse. I could be 4 years ago today. I could go back and relive that day over. Mm-hmm. That was hell. Coming to, because like yesterday, I kind of went to the hospital 4 years ago, and I was still like handcuffed to the bed, the hospital bed, because the cops brought me in there, and I was watching the stupid alien show, which is kind of funny because this morning I was watching an alien show with the vid, with the 19's laying in bed, watching these alien stuff, and I'm like, man, this is like 4 years ago, so way more comfortable. The hospital beds aren't good for fat people. We don't like them. We don't like hospital beds and being hot. That's two things fat people hate, by the way. And when we get the ice cream out of the freezer and there's just like one spoonful in there, those are the three things we hate.
Oh, okay.
So just pass that along.
Yeah.
Let's just start like a fat people coalition. That'd be a nonprofit.
Oh my God.
I'd probably do better than the recovery thing. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I think the recovery thing is going well.
No, but I think we were kind of faced with a decision. We were kind of like back and forth on if we were going to make the trip or not. And, I think it shows a lot of growth. Like, for me personally, like, I really wanted to go down to Ann Arbor. Like, we had a nice hotel set up and, like, just a change of environment. And, I just finished my school semester. So I was like, yes, like, even when I didn't have something due, I always knew I had something due. So that was always like, people that go to school know what I'm talking about. It's like, until it's really truly over, it's still like you're in it.
And you're an adult going to school.
Yeah, and I'm an adult going to school with a full-time job.
You have cats.
And a full-time husband.
Yeah, and you're trying to schedule this full-time college class, like real classes, not like the crap I was taking.
No.
Like you're taking like real stuff.
Yeah, and I have an internship and, and so real patients, like all real adult stuff. It's crazy. And I'm grateful for it. But like, and so I'm thinking about it and I'm like, we're doing the calculator on the website, the CDC website, like what day did we have symptoms and like what day are we quote unquote clear to like leave the home. We would have like been making it by a hair. And I'm thinking to myself, like, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Like come on, this is something like, yeah, it sucks to have. And would we want anybody to feel this way? Absolutely not. I mean, we're going to make it through. We're not going to die from it, but it's not fun. It limits a ton of things that you can do. You know, and for people who don't have like sick time to take off work or can't work from home, you know, you're out that. So, even if you're not symptomatic. Anyway, it was like one of those little things that you notice that it's like back in the day, I would have been like, I just ain't going to tell them.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling all right and in my world, like I'm good to go, even if whatever, regardless of what the CDC says, if I'm feeling all right to go, I'm going to go. I'm just not going to tell them. You know, and
I'll find out later.
And that's super selfish and like not appropriate way to make decisions. And so, you know, I was like, I'm gonna have a discussion with them and just tell my parents and my family, like, this is what's going on with us. What are your thoughts? And really, when he broke it down, we're like, even if we are clear to go, like, they didn't feel comfortable. You know, they're older and they had these things set up with like a bunch of different people. We wouldn't be able to go out to like restaurants and things. So, you know, we're just like, you know what? It's not in the cards.
Yeah. So
we got just be binge watching Christmas movies.
Yeah.
For like the next 3 days.
Sleeping.
4 days. 4 days left on the CDC clock.
Yeah, it's not fun, but you know, we don't have fruit flies. Could you imagine if we had fruit flies and we couldn't find the source?
I honestly was worried about you because I was.
And you were like, "Are you on drugs?"
I was like,
"Yeah."
What are you talking about?
Take some Sudafed.
And I'm thinking back, like, is the last time we had COVID, did we have fruit flies? Like, is this like a flashback thing or?
But you should know me by now that I just say things sometimes and.
Oh, yeah. No.
You're not in the conversation I'm having with myself in my brain, but it'll just come out loud of my lips sometimes.
I was like, sweetie, really? I mean, are you okay? Where's this coming from?
Yeah, it was, they were coming from bagged potatoes that I apparently put underneath a sink that's not where they went. So I never would have thought to like even look for potatoes there. Like if I was starving, it was like, I need some food. That would have been the last drawer I looked in. That I would have stuck some potatoes there. So
the fruit flies were your own fault.
Yeah, but I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, where are they coming from? And I'm like pouring stuff down the sink and the drain and little cider cups everywhere with soap in them. And it was hell. And they were just nonstop.
How long did this go on for?
Weeks. And I finally said something at an AA meeting. And they're like, well, there's something in there somewhere. They're eating some food somewhere. You need to look in all your cabinets. I was like, well, okay. And then the last one I looked in,
weeks to actually look at all your cabinets.
Well, I looked at the ones with food in it. Like this had pots and pans, and it was like behind them, like it was like hidden. Like I don't know. I don't think I put it there. Like if you want to mess with somebody in your family, just take a bag of potatoes, open them up just a little bit, and throw them back behind their pots and pans, and then hear them the spring bitch about how their fruit flies are just out of control. And then you can say, hey, for $100, I can fix that for you. No, that's the addict way of thinking.
Yeah, it totally is.
But it is frustrating. But yeah, and I didn't even think about doing a podcast today because I was like, look, it's my 4-year anniversary, but I sound like this, and I feel like that.
Yeah,
and,
you slept for most of the day.
Yeah, and I had to cancel my therapy appointment because I set my alarm for it, and I woke up and I was like, oh, 20 more minutes. And I set my alarm for like 5 minutes before it was to start, and I was like, I can't do it. And you're like, why do you keep setting your alarm? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. And I could barely even talk at that point.
I don't think you even answered me. I think you were like,
so I just texted my therapist, like, I'm so sorry, I can't do it today. And then I was supposed to do the Families Against Narcotics board meeting tonight.
That ain't gonna happen.
I texted him yesterday or sent an email saying, yep, I'll be there. And then I sent another one last night saying, no, I won't. They're like, here's a link you can join online. And I was like, yeah. At first I thought, okay. Because at first I wasn't feeling that bad, you know. And the only reason I took the test is because other people at this event we had went to started testing positive. I'm like, man, I better check. And when I checked last night, I didn't really feel all that bad. I had a little bit of a cough. But today it was just like, boom, like jumped on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've had a headache and achy and kind of a cough for, I don't know, it's been like 2 days. So, and then, but yours were negative. So I'm like, it's just this other thing because
Tuesdays, so it was negative.
Right. And there's like a flu, like there's like people are sick, but people are not that don't have COVID. There's another kind of like whatever, the normal people sickness is going around too. And
the common flu.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just like, we just got a little touch of that. But then when you said you had it, I was like, oh man.
I know, and it's so hard to tell with me because there's always something wrong with me.
Yeah.
So like you really can't be like, okay, Corey. I mean, how many times have I taken COVID tests? Probably 20.
Yeah.
And it's negative every time.
In the last couple of months, probably 10.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, Corey, what's wrong with you today? You know, so you really can't judge that. But then when I did test positive, I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then the dates on there, they were like, don't use if expired. And ours expired in August. But I was like, well.
No, those aren't really. That's probably if it was negative.
Like, I'm not eating it.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It could be worse, like I said. You know, we could have fruit flies. You know, I was driving up to the UP the other day to go to Canada. And I always drive up there and I change my mind and I come back. Never go to Canada. I never do. But I saw this sign. And I think I'm going to call MDOT because I think that's who's responsible for the signs, like Michigan Department of Transportation. And, you know, they'll be like, speed kills, slow down. It was like one of those neon ones that flash and change and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was like, snowmobiles, be careful, you know, and it's like 80% of snowmobile wrecks are caused by speed. And I laughed. I was like, no, it's not. I'd say 100% of them are like caused by like crashing into some shit, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think speed has anything to do with it.
I don't know. I'm not a snowmobiler.
I mean, you could go fast. Yeah. Doesn't mean you're gonna wreck. But when you crash into some shit, like that's like 100%.
Yeah, but I bet that if people are going super slow on snowmobiles, they don't crash. So there's some truth to that. Gotcha there.
Well, if you crash into a tree, you crash into a tree.
You're probably not going. If you're
slow. No, my mom or somebody in my family did some dumb stuff one time on a snowmobile.
So she's the 5%.
It was like, boom.
She's the 5%. Then I think it's probably right on that and drunk beeling.
Yeah, but I thought that was weird, and like it always says too, like speeding kills people. No, it's the slow person in front of me that's really messing everything up. Mm. Not that I speed, officer. I might go a couple miles over, but I go with the flow.
Yeah. No, you can really, people die on snowmobiles. I mean,
I know.
A lot. Like, it's pretty, not common, but like, I don't know.
I bit my tongue on my last snowmobile ride, and that was it. I was like, had enough.
I don't think you even need to, you have to have a driver's license. I think that's it.
I think you get a snowmobile license. I don't think you can ride before you're 16.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but you don't need a snowmobile license to drive a snowmobile?
Yeah, you're supposed to.
You're supposed to? Really?
Yeah, they catch you.
I didn't know that.
That's why they want you to slow down so they can catch you and check to see if you got an ID.
From the snowmobile police?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
The DNR.
So you learn something new every day.
Or the MDOT people.
You always keep me on my toes, honey.
Yeah, somebody's got to, on these Michigan laws, I'm telling you. But I'm not saying go fast on snowmobiles. I'm just saying don't crash.
That's good advice.
Because to me, that seems like that's what really causes the deaths and the accidents and the injuries. And it's the crashing part. That's pretty much all I got. I was going to go into more about like what I was doing 4 years ago today, blah, blah, blah. But I sound like this, and I don't think people really want to hear that today. Mm-hmm. So this will wrap it up. But thank you, Marney, for getting me my 4-year chip.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. It's nice. It's got a tree on it, and it's got a 4 on it. Mm-hmm. And for making me do the podcast today.
You're welcome.
Because I was writing it off like, nope, not even going to do it.
Yeah.
And there might be somebody out there that listens to this and goes, well, I'm going to slow down on my snowmobile, or maybe I'm not going to use drugs today, or maybe I'm going to do
potatoes.
Both. Look for potatoes.
Right. All that. Check.
Yep. And just don't do drugs. Don't give up on your family members. You can listen to some podcasts from previous ones if you're in the hankering for some, but get the 217 Recovery app. It has them all on there. But yeah, I talk about the stuff that happened to me back in the day, and I'll talk about it again soon, very soon. But I'm just going to wrap it up for today, though.
I'm not feeling 100.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great night.
Thanks for listening to the 217 Recovery Podcast. We hope you come back for our next episode.